Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Daniel. How are you doing?
I'm good. Welcome to another exciting edition of Chris and Dan's podcast.
Desert Diaries. That's how that's
Desert
called.
Diaries. Yeah, Desert Diaries, the podcast. When the movie comes out, it's going to be
Exactly,
called
yeah.
The Podcast, Desert Diaries edition. So, how you been, mate? I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yep. I had some rubbish news last week. Are we talking about personal stuff? We could do.
If you want to talk
It's
about
just
personal
my
things.
sister's not very well, as you know, and so update on that is that she's now been given a feeding tube. So instead of so she can't eat and talk, and it's a bit rubbish. So anyway, that's that. We're not going to talk about it anymore. But that was what happened last week. So we didn't do a podcast last week because I was a bit emotional about it. So that's it. But you called me to make sure I was okay, which is really nice. Yeah, a bit wimpy, but it was nice. It was nice.
I guess that's what friends are doing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what friends do, isn't it? I guess. Yeah. So that's that. And so what else? What else have you been up to then? So it's been 2 weeks. What have you been doing?
I don't know. Hustle.
The Dubai Hustle.
The Dubai Hustle.
Yeah.
There's actually a real estate show called Dubai Hustle.
Weren't we on it? Which was the one we were on?
I don't know. There's so many now.
Yeah. 'Cause when Chris and I first started here, they were filming one, and you and I are in it in the background,
In the background,
walking,
yeah.
just like walking past the camera.
And I was actually really excited because I always used to watch those as a teenager.
Yeah.
That's actually how this whole idea about doing real
Oh, yeah,
estate
it was,
came
wasn't it?
across
Yeah.
because I was watching
Watch
all
the
of
show,
those
yeah,
things,
yeah.
So it was kind of cool when I applied at Better Homes, and I already seen on the website that they're gonna do a TV show. I was like, hell yeah!
You're like, I'm in.
Like real estate is cool, but real estate TV show—that's
Even
really what
cooler,
you gotta
yeah.
be in.
I'd love to be in the movies.
Let's go. Let's do a movie. The Desert Diary.
Desert Diary.
Movie edition.
Movie edition. No, I because now we do a lot of content, as you know, and I really enjoy doing it. I actually find it like cool. I love it. It's a pain in the ass. I mean, we're so busy on content creation. We spend 1 day a week, Fridays. That's all we do. Nothing else.
Only TikTok dances.
Only TikTok dances. I've got some outfits I put on. just following the trends.
Mainly the fairy runs.
Mainly the fair one. Check out my OnlyFans.
Real estate fairy. That's how you're gonna
The real
establish
estate
yourself as
fairy.
a brand.
So anyway, moving on from that. So what was I going to say?
You wanted to talk about something nice today.
I did want to talk about something nice.
Which is?
Well, so actually, it's a bit of a heavy. Well, there's a guy that I follow on Instagram who's moved over here from, I think, Australia or somewhere like that. And forgive me if it's not Australia, not that he's watching. But anyway, and he made a post the other day about socialism and capitalism and all of this sort of stuff.
Okay.
And so I was watching it, and what he was saying was rather interesting. But he was essentially saying like, socialism is ridiculous and only capitalism works. And I was thinking to myself, well, we live in a society now, a world now, where everything is so mixed together, and it's a shame that we can't look at some societies and go, okay, well, that bit's good, but that bit's really bad, and that bit's really good, and that bit's really bad, and kind of pick it out. Because, I mean, I come from a country where, in England, where healthcare is free, education is free.
Ooh, sounds communist to me.
It sounds socialist. Where if you need benefits because you're disabled or you can't work, you get that, right? So that's what some would call a socialist society, because it's the helping people get off their feet and everything else. What's supposed to happen, of course, is if you can work, you're supposed to work. But then I love the NHS. I think it's a really good thing. But then growing up in America, and then you see in America where the biggest reason that people become bankrupt in America is because of medical bills. And people die every year because they can't afford meds, or they haven't got insurance to cover what they need. You think, hold on, from a humanity point of view, that's really bad. Now, I'm 100% full-on capitalist. I mean, we live in Dubai, right? We came to Dubai to create a business, to make money, to this, that, and the other. I think the harder you work, the more you should get. I'm 100% on that. But I do think that certain things in certain societies we could use, and it would be better. So I don't think that you can just say capitalism is the best and that's the best way to go, because I think as human beings we need to help are other human beings until they can get back on their feet again. So I'm not suggesting we just give everything to everybody for free, because what happens then is you get greedy, lazy people who then manipulate the system, and that's where it all falls apart. In the same way, you get that with capitalism. You get greedy people who then manipulate the system, tread on people that can't or don't have the education to lift themselves up, and they exploit them. And that exploitation is purely fueled by greed. So there's this whole bit in the middle that has to work right. And so it's got nothing to do with I think this is right and that's right. It's all right. It's actually being the right person in the middle. And I think the biggest commodity that we fail on is kindness. And I think that the kinder you are, the more kind you are to your fellow human beings' situation, the better everything would be. So, okay, I work really, really hard. I've got this, that, and the other. And some delivery guy comes to my door and delivers our food to us. And I say, okay, would you like some water? Do you want a can of Coke? Do you need to use the bathroom? Anything like that? That's simple kindness. But that can affect that guy in a tremendous way, because he might have been absolutely dying to go to the bathroom and too afraid to ask someone. And that's those little things that I think just make a huge difference. Anyway, that's
Do you think like a good mix out of the two systems could be achieved if the people are kind enough so the system doesn't force people to help others? Like if they proactively want to help others, even though not 50% of their salary is deducted straight away.
100%. Yeah, it shouldn't be. And that's where it falls apart again, is that, okay, so you've got these guys earning a certain amount. We need to feed these and help these, so we're going to take all the money from them to feed them. But that's just wrong. That cannot be sustained, because you've then got a huge amount of people being sustained by a small minority of people, all the people working hard and having it, and they're going to get angry with them, and then there's more and more people here, and they can't sustain it, so it's going to fall apart. That's just basic, right? I think
have a different point of view on that, because if you look at the US, for example, since you mentioned that, people over there are much more involved in charity than in Europe, I would say.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I mean, I was when I was there.
I met so many people that are like doing some voluntary work on the weekend, like some sort of like handing out food, those kind of things, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it feels like it's a big part of the culture there.
It is, definitely. I 100% agree with that.
If you look at the overall outcome of how life is in a society like that, where people help others, but they help selectively, and only on Sundays when they're off, you have big amounts of people living on the street that are happy on a Sunday, because then that's the time of the week when that rich person finally has time
not necessarily rich person, just
or whoever to help them out. While in a society that's more socialist or more social, we don't have to call it socialist, those people already are getting enough money from the government to not having to rely on that one kind gesture by somebody else.
Yeah, I think we're going with this.
And at the same time, sometimes I feel like then helping others is not only an act of kindness, but then it becomes a sport trying to present yourself. And I had this experience where here during Ramadan, there's a lot of charity things going on.
Yeah.
And like a group I'm involved with, they were...
Is this the biscuit group?
The biscuit group.
Yeah.
They were helping out in one of the let's say not that affluent areas, handing out food.
Yeah.
And every day somebody would support that big organization that does that.
Yeah.
And on that one day it was the group I'm with. Now, being there, I felt really bad about it, and I think
in what way? What do you feel?
Did I tell about it? So it felt like this, helping from up here to feeding people as if they can't help themselves, even though they work as many hours or more than I do.
Yeah.
As hard as I do.
Yeah.
But yet all of a sudden we're standing here and I'm like, oh, I'm so generous. I'm gonna give you this.
Yeah, I get
And,
it.
So I'd rather have those people actually being able to just buy the food themselves, even though for half an hour, somebody can feel good because they're handing out the food, but then also the way how the people were treated on their way to get the food, because like this organization, that bigger organization that does it, which has a very great intention, but the way how they were like managing the crowd, like, yo, go there, like, what the fuck you pushing it, like really rough, and it looked like in a, I don't know, like feeding animals. That's really how this entire thing came across. So I already had a shitty feeling about it. Then this entire scene is like, you have like really basic accommodations, and then a bunch of people drive in with their Range Rovers.
And it's bigger than that.
Get out
where they sleep.
For half an hour, hand out things while they make sure to get enough pictures taken of themselves. Some mom is getting angry because her kid has been holding that food for 5 minutes, and unfortunately, most of the people in the line just grabbed the food in the beginning because they didn't want to wait until this lady's kid to finally get the food. So it becomes like that lady's angry because her kid doesn't get the best experience out of something
someone
that should be kind. So I already felt really bad. And then I'm going back to my car, and then this African guy approaches me, and he's like, he's pretty much confirming what I'm saying. He's like, do you guys really need to come in here and act generous? Like, do you think it's necessary to take loads of pictures?
Yeah, well, that's that's it.
And I'm like thinking like this, half an hour, 500 pictures taken, 500 food packages handed out as well, but probably a society where money is deducted from somebody's income. So this doesn't need to happen. Would probably help those people 100%. More.
Yeah, and and this is where that side of it can work. And this is what I'm saying, is that I think that the problem with socialism and the problem with capitalism is not that either actual idea is bad or theology or whatever it's called, but it's the greed of people that run whatever's being run. All right. So if the government took a certain amount of money from everybody that worked and it was actually distributed to people that really needed it, then that works. The problem is, and particularly in the UK at the moment, is you've got a tremendous amount of people that are living off benefits that shouldn't be. They're totally fine. They can go get a job. And then you've got people that go to the NHS and they're not sick, but they go there because of whatever reason, or because they're, in the nicest possible way, and I'll probably get slated for this, but they're lazy, all right? They don't get out and go for a walk. They smoke 2-3 packs of cigarettes a day.
I mean, that's something that freaks me out. Like when
it's so stupid.
When somebody says they severely poor and they still have enough money for cigarettes, then I'm like,
how can you be? You're not that poor.
That is really not like a basic thing for life. So nobody needs to finance you smoking cigarettes because you can survive without it. Like
exactly.
If you're poor, you don't smoke.
So I think that a government is set up to look after and manage the people, right? With laws and things put in place like healthcare, education, blah, blah, blah. And I think that's really, really important. And I think that is a good side of socialism. The downside is the greed, that people cheat the system. And that happens, I'm sure it's just not in England, it's all over the world. I'm sure it happens in Germany, it happens everywhere. In the same way with capitalism, you've got people that are coming to here, and it's a really amazing place to open a business, okay? Because you've got a huge demographic of people to work with, all different languages. Therefore, and there's lots of help to set businesses up. Like, this is definitely geared for the ease of that. But you've then got people that will openly talk about exploiting other people here. And I don't like that.
But the thing is, that's a bit how the only way how a country can grow as fast as this one is the fact that there's a big inequality between payments.
Oh no!
Because otherwise things wouldn't work, and that is something which, like, you can like it or not like it, but that's how it works.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? So you've got, for example, like at the moment, the government doing this great thing at the moment to get rid of what are they called? The room sharing thing.
Yeah.
God, what is it called?
Partitions.
Partitions, because they're incredibly dangerous. Okay, it causes so many issues, health issues, fire issues, all of this. Like, you know, a building just went up because of that, electrical fire.
I mean, I just had an inquiry last week where some guy was saying he wants to rent a 1-bed for 40,000, and he wants to rent it to accommodate 10 staff members.
Exactly, but that,
and maybe also a 2, but that's for 40 then.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
So but that's it. So you've got that person that is going, okay, well, I'm going to grow my business and I need X amount of staff to grow it. I'm going to pay them so little, but I'm going to give them these benefits. Like, you have a house, I'm going to give you housing, I'm going to pay you this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to give you food. And people think, and I have 100% experience from this, from Pfizer coming from Nepal, they're told all these things, and then they come here and it's that.
Yeah.
Oh, 1-bedroom apartment, and you've got 30 other people in there.
But that's
and, you know,
all of the time how it works over here. Every employer will tell you.
not every employer.
Things.
That's the thing. It's not every
not
employer.
You maybe, but
no, but not.
I feel like one of the things that I in general don't like is when the employer says they're gonna do things for you, or they're even doing things for you to a great extent, but then you're completely dependent on the employer. You know, like if somebody says, like, oh, I'm going to get you a SIM card, I'm going to give you this, and this.
Yeah.
You're going to have the housing included. That's great. But as soon as that
you
employer
gotta leave,
lets you down, then you have nothing.
Yeah.
And that's why I really think it's better if that employer just gives you money to live your own life than having a small salary and big benefits, but they all like
no. So
then afterwards people will be like, oh yeah, I'm so generous because I gave you this. No, it should have been part of the salary so I can get.
Yeah, but most of the big companies do that. So if you work for any, I mean, with
the
more,
big ones,
yeah.
But I'm not talking about a major bank.
No,
like
no. I'm talking about
the small business that needs to grow fast. That's the ones who don't do it.
Okay.
They don't give you a visa. They don't give you.
They give you the visa. They have to. You have to give you health insurance. You have to.
But
it's a legal requirement.
That's not how it's been done.
It's okay in real estate because in real estate it's throw enough against the wall and some of it sticks. That's why the attrition rate is like 90% in real estate.
In many other
food and beverage over here.
Exactly. There, for example, I think that's how it was with Pfizer. Then they said, we didn't pay you a proper salary, and now you need to pay us back the money for the visa.
Yeah.
How come? She worked for them.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Why should anybody pay back the money for the visa?
You're right. It shouldn't. But that's what I'm talking about, the greed side of it. Like, capitalism is amazing. Capitalism breeds ideas. It breeds technology. It breeds innovation. Yeah. Right. So, but if you're just okay, so a friend of ours, whatever. Okay, someone we know, they're a friend, but anyway, they're setting up a business, or they've set up a business here. They're about to employ someone. They have to go through quite rigorous training. This person that they're employing is going to be spearheading their company, and we're talking about, they're bringing them over from India, paying a lower wage because they've sold them the idea, oh, if you come from India, you're going to earn Dubai. Right? So they're paying them a lower wage, and they were boasting about the fact that their lawyer has written up a contract that's going to tie them into working with them so they can't leave. And my initial thing is, why on earth would you want to treat someone who's spearheading your business so poorly, but then even to the point that you know you're treating them so poorly that you can't let them leave?
Yeah.
Like, it's the other way. When you own a business, your job is to look after your staff. Your job is to literally protect them, help them grow, because you want to grow your business with your staff.
And what you would want to do, especially with that person that is going to be one of the main drivers, is have them so motivated to do well that they actually, like, you even give them equity or whatever, or like part of the revenue, so they really feel like it's theirs.
Exactly.
Because as soon as you, as that person's gonna find out they're just being like exploited,
they're done.
Their motivation to
the jobs, they hate you. I mean, and in the nicest, and this is the biggest thing again. The main thing I've seen here is obviously real estate, but in the real estate market, I find it stupid. Like, in the nicest way, how many real estate companies have you worked for? Can you answer that? You're not allowed to. How many real estate companies have you worked for? 3. Okay, so in 2 and a bit years, you worked for 3 different companies. In anywhere else in the world, that would be really weird, right? But over here, and by the way, that's really good. I mean, that's low.
So actually, like I've worked 1 full year with the one right now,
Yeah.
and 1.5 with the other one, and then I had
A slight bit with someone else, yeah.
6 week intermezzo with that other company.
But what I'm trying to get at, you see, is to build loyalty in a staff member. You can't do that by giving them money.
Yeah.
All right. Money does not get you loyalty because the next person just gives them more money and they go off. So what builds loyalty with a staff member? Obviously, you have to pay them properly. So they have to feel like they're looked after and they can pay for their basic needs like food and water and going out once in a while and their rent and stuff, right? That's basic. Right? You're paying for someone. It's your responsibility to make sure that they can live. All right. But it's the other side of it, making them feel part of the team. Winning their hearts and minds. Like literally they wake up in the morning and be like, right, how can I help build this business? Not, oh, actually this other guy contacted me, another competitor, and he's offered me a little bit more, so I'm going to jump ship. And then that employee of yours knows all about your business and has now moved to your competitor. What an idiot you are for not looking after your employee.
Yeah.
And that happens in every industry, and it drives me crazy. Look after your employees.
But I feel like in places where you don't need to be looked after that much, the money actually plays a much bigger role because, like, I would say in Germany, if you getting like 20% more money, so a big chunk of money more, people wouldn't want to move even though they might be treated better somewhere else. Because they know that their private life, they are like independent enough that they go there, they hate the job, but they take this money for the private thing.
Yeah.
While over here, where those two constantly overlap, up until the point where somebody pays for your accommodation.
Exactly. Well, what's your working week in Germany as well?
Huh?
What's your working week in Germany?
Yeah, Monday to Friday.
Exactly, like 40 hours a week, right?
Exactly,
So I think it's 36 hours a week.
And
Right. So
you don't actually work the 4
well, and that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
So you have the ability to work, and then after you finish work, you switch off and go do your thing. In fact, it's in England, you're not even allowed to be contacted out of hours, right? So I think it's the same in Germany.
This weekend because I did a sound healing session on Saturday evening, 6:30, and after that, when I left the place at 8:00, I was just really feeling so calm and relaxed, and I was like, okay, actually, I'm just gonna head home, and I'm not gonna switch the phone back on because I still needed to call friends. I was actually to confirm if I'm actually doing something on that night.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what, today I'm just taking that time for myself because I feel like I don't owe anybody any explanations. I'm just gonna keep the phone off. Next morning, I get into the office and I already seen that I had 2 missed calls like on Saturday night from my boss, and then I get in trouble for not answering the phone on Saturday night. And bear in mind, I worked every single day last week, including that Saturday before the sound healing thing started, and the Sunday. So those 2 hours that I allowed myself to just go to bed instead of switching the phone back on, I'm getting in trouble. That is the extent of work-life balance that you have.
Well, there is no work-life balance. It's work, and you can... And that's again, people choose it. I get it. Like I understand.
Yeah, I mean, we all chose it, you know. So it's not like I'm not complaining about it. I was also not even saying I'm sorry for it to my boss because I'm not sorry for it. Yeah. I had the phone off. That's it.
Yeah, but it's interesting. So I think where I'm trying to get to, I think that there is no metric for judging someone's kindness, and I get where you were going before, and I did the same thing when I lived in America. Every few weeks I would take part in some kind of charity thing, and it was for the homeless, it was for cleaning all kinds of stuff we used to do, but you do it because you want to help someone, but also because it makes you feel good because you're like, oh, I'm doing it. But that's a failure of the government in America. That's a failure of the American government not looking after people that need to be looked after. All right. So, and people step in because they can see it. I mean, living in Florida, it's everywhere. I mean, it's really bad. But it's funny. There's a metric for success almost anywhere in the world, and it's based on the car you drive, where you live, the clothes you wear. But there's no metric for kindness. Okay, and yet I will tell you, some of the most successful people I've ever met, the reason that they've got these long-standing businesses and their staff would never leave them is kindness. It's not about how much money they pay them. They pay a normal wage. They're not paying someone like twice what they would know. They get a normal wage, but it's the absolute kindness. The only time that works badly is that when they come to sell that business and they don't want to stay with it, they have to put in a clause that the staff have to stay there for a minimum of 2 years.
Yeah.
Because often that as soon as that person at the top would leave, all of the staff members would leave because they want to follow that guy or girl, right? So that's the only time that metric sort of falls apart, when they're trying to sell your business you've been building up for the last 30 years. But without question, being kind in today's world is something that is not done enough. And I think we should do more of it.
That's such a beautiful thing to end the podcast.
Because what a beautiful thing, kindness.
No, really, like, good topic.
Good topic. Yeah, okay. Well, that's it. That's been half an hour. Look at that.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Be kind to us.
Be kind.
Leave a comment and
Yeah.
a like.